God explained to me that Black people are the chosen people.
All right, racists, let's talk about the truth. There is so much discourse lately about who is native and who is indigenous, and even the nerve to bring up who is the architect of soul food. And what everyone needs to understand is that Black people are the earth. Black people are the only unmutated humanity. They told you humans came from Africa like it was a migration story. But that's not the truth. The truth is, Africa is the first face of the earth. And blackness is the source of all biology. Everyone else? Genetic drift, mutational echo, survival glitches adapted to ice and exile. Let's talk origins. The Black woman is the womb of the world. Forget the Eve in the garden story. That was a stolen metaphor. The real Eve lives in the woman's mitochondria. And not just any women. Melanin-rich, thick-hipped, thick-lipped, and copper-toned. Elegant, poised, literally perfect, planet-rooted Black women. White women don't carry the full ancestral genome. Asian, Mexican, and Native women only carry fragments. Black women carry the total code. She doesn't reproduce diversity. She births the whole species. When small African offshoot groups migrated north, they weren't evolving. They were mutating, adapting to survival, not thriving. That's where lighter skin, narrow nostrils, reduced melanin, and behavioral changes began. All signs of environmental stress, not superiority. You don't get white by evolving. You get white by forgetting the sun. And that forgetting is not advancement. It's progression. The white genome contains 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. Let me repeat, they didn't just descend from humans. They were cavemen. Black people have 0 Neanderthal admixture. That's not a joke. That's biology. Black people are the originals. Non-Black people are the remix. The problem is, the remix decided to express its evil nature by attempting to erase the original track. Let's talk indigenous. The term indigenous was invented by settlers to decide who was native enough to be managed, named, and displaced. But indigenous is a political term, not a genetic one. And political terms can't overwrite blood memory. Being first on the continent does not make you first on the planet. However, Black people being first on the planet means they are first on every continent. The Black genome is Earth's source code. Everyone else is just running a copy of their biological operating system. The war against Black genetics is a war against humanity. Melanin isn't pigment, it's the processor. It's the molecule that translates solar energy into life. Plants have it, animals have it, humans need it. Black people have the highest concentration of it, which means Black people don't just live on Earth, they translate it. They are not just a race, they are the root species. Black isn't a color, it's the motherboard. Every other group, adaptations, mutations, and mistakes. This isn't supremacy. This is truth. Black people didn't come from Africa. Africa came from Black people.
Grand Rising Kings and Queens, welcome back to my YouTube space. I welcome you back to another eye-opening message, another unfiltered truth and spiritual awakening now. Because what I'm about to talk to is no longer just a whisper. It's now being said loudly, even by those who tried to deny it back then. White people are finally accepting that many are even saying openly that Black people are the chosen ones. And this isn't just compliment, it's a confession. They are coming out in numbers, making videos and confessing about this. Some are saying that they got a revelation from God. Some are saying that they've been knowing this, but they were told to remain silent. But it's great to see that even white people, they know this, because the history of Black people shows you that we are the chosen ones. The history alone of Black people shows you that. The treatment, how Black people are being treated across the globe, shows you that we are the chosen ones. Now, before I go down into this video, I want you to watch these clips. Watch these clips and then we come back, we talk more.
People who have ears to hear and threw their own people under the bus in order to establish this line. The true Hebrews are your African American or Black people. Those are the true Jews, or Yehudim is the correct term. Jew is a fairly new word, but your true Jews or Yehudim are the so-called Black people or African Americans. So next time you want to name call and make funny remarks, keep in mind that you're talking about people that were chosen by Yahuwah the Almighty, and he sees it. You also have people that were from other tribes. Anybody that's been oppressed or run down or run over. Your North American Indians were from us, not the people in Israel. People in Israel came from the Khazarian region in Russia. And these evil people, who were warlike people, threw their own people under the bus and made them suffer in Germany. Yes, it was a very terrible, terrible thing they did. But they threw their own people under the bus in order to establish this lie and establish this nation under Satan. Because they use that satanic symbol, that star, which has nothing to do with David. They call it David's star. It has nothing to do with David. It's been a satanic star for thousands of years, and it's used to conjure up demons. You can look up any satanic website, or you can look up any Satan worship, and you'll find that star on the wall, on the floor, with candles around it. You find it everywhere. Your true Jews, your true Hebrews, are these people who you're still oppressing, these people who you're still calling names, these people who you like to make little funny remarks. You think they're funny. They're not funny at all. You need to get your head out of your butt and start doing research and quit following all these distractions like football and all these supposed news stories that aren't news at all, to distract you, and all your theme parks and your Disneyland, which is another satanic place.
Shalom, YouTube. I felt compelled to make this video, for lack of a better term, and I'm going to entitle it, I'm Sick of White People. And yes, I'm white. And the reason I'm sick of white people is because no matter how much fact, no matter how much scripture you all are presented with regarding who the Hebrews in the Bible were and who they are in the earth today, which would be the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, the Native Americans, the Aborigines, no matter what you're presented with, you still want to dispute this and maintain your superior, pompous, arrogant attitudes. And it makes me sick. I come across these so-called biblically based websites, and listed for the 12 tribes of Israel are all European countries. What is wrong with you people? You should be ashamed of yourselves. After everything these people have been through at the hand of the white man, slaughtered, ran off their land, sold into bondage, had their heritage stolen from them, would it kill you? Would it kill you to acknowledge the fact that these could be God's chosen elect? Well, evidently so. And unfortunately, in the words of King Solomon, there's nothing new under the sun. As a matter of fact, I'd like to read what King David had to say regarding this. And this is from Psalm 83. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have a confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, that's you white people, Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, the Hagareans, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Selah. So, yeah. Despite the fact that there's an African tribe with a piece of the Ark of the Covenant, and despite the fact that it's been proven that Native American tribes wrote in ancient Hebrew, a very, very ancient form of Hebrew, you still want to think that you're Israelites. And I hate to break it to you white people, but you are not. You are Edom. You are Edomites, the descendants of Esau, Jacob's brother. And I guess this is where that term comes from, the white man is the devil. Well, in this case, the truth, it hurts oh so bad.
What you have to remember is that in Deuteronomy 28:64, the Most High said that he would scatter the Israelites all over the world. And then in Luke 21, verses 20 and 21, shows that in 70 AD, when the Roman army overtook Jerusalem, the Israelites fled. Well, the ones that weren't killed or caught. And I've brought this out, I believe, in one of my first two videos, but I'm going to bring it out again. And it's from Babylon to Timbuktu. And it says, in 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. So it's not only in historical books, it's in the Bible.
You know what Christians and the Jewish people have in common? And it's not all of them. It's the Zionists, because yes, there's Zionist Christians too. It's not just Jewish people. They all hide behind religion, so all their followers believe they're good people. And this goes for Israel, America, because none of you are real Jewish people and real Christians. You're just pieces of shit hiding behind religion. Because the Zionists is a political movement that was made in the 1800s. And they used the religion to manipulate the masses, which here we are today. And it's funny how these white asshole Jewish people are saying they're the chosen people. No, the fuck you're not. You know who the chosen people are? The black community. They're the actual Jews. I mean, what's get into reality of it all, because Israel and America are literally the same thing, because it's just full of white assholes who hide behind religion. Because the things that Israel is doing is literally what the British, the Europeans did to America, where the Hispanics in the black community brought these people in with open arms to help them, and then what happens? You all turned on them, and now you want to play victim when people fight back. That's what a lot of white people do, is they play victim when people fight back. I mean, look at Israel. They're crying for America's help because they are the bullies, and now their people are fighting back, and now they want America's soldiers to help them. They've been wanting America's help since the 1940s, and America's been helping them. That's why I find it hilarious when militaries always say, "We're protecting my people." You're protecting Israel. You've been protecting them since the fucking 40s. You've been helping them colonize Gaza. I mean, if you go look at videos of Gaza getting destroyed by Israel, you can see these white fuckers like smiling, happy, as they don't give a fuck about these people. It's racism. It's literally what it is. It's literally racism and white colonizing. And what, you know, it's funny too, because during the 40s, the Arabs at first was bringing the Jews over there, the white Jews, with open arms, kind of like America, where the black community and Hispanics had their arms open and helped them. And what did these white Jews do? Try to destroy them to take their land too. This is where Christianities are a bunch of assholes too, but they think they're following Jesus, but you're enjoying Gaza getting destroyed, which is Jesus' fucking hometown. You be the same motherfuckers, the Jews and the Christians be the same people that would kill Jesus if he's here today, but somehow you follow him. And this is why a lot of people are becoming Holocaust deniers, because you fake ass empathy white people try to play victim with this shit. It's getting annoying. Because you know what? Because when the black community talks about slavery and stuff, you tell them to get over. You know what? Get over the Holocaust. And it shows too, because a lot of you are so plagued by the Holocaust, because 60 million people died. Let's use our fucking thinking brains here. You think these countries could afford these 60 million people? Every single country would be able to afford to bring them back to their families? No. So they most likely burned them. What makes you not think these pictures were from the soldiers who died in the war? We're so focused on these one group of people. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but these white-ass Jews love to hide behind that. And so if you call them out, you're somehow a Holocaust denier. Somehow you hate Jews. This is what people are getting annoyed with. This is why people are leaving Christianity. People are getting annoyed with the Jews because you're all just victim white ass people who pretend to have empathy. Because when you bring up something in the 1940s where Israel was slaughtering people in Gaza before World War II was happening, somehow people look over that. 20,000 people. But people look over that. And so you worry about these white people. Kind of like the South Africa issue. People were attacking them. Oh, bring them over. Help the white people. But it was colored people. Oh, who cares? If Israel is full of colored people, you wouldn't care. Let's face facts here. White people are a bunch of ignorant assholes. And they play victim when people fight back. And speaking of Jesus, this is why a lot of white people think, oh, Jesus is white. The dude came from fucking Gaza, so he's obviously Arab. Why a lot of you think white people are the chosen ones because you think because you're special. It's actually the black community. You don't want to believe that because of the color of their skin.
I haven't been on here a long time, man. But this is for all the Negro people. All the Negro people. God's chosen people. The first love of the Most High. I love good gospel music. I've been sitting there watching CeCe Winans, and the woman just blesses my soul. And the Lord put it on my heart to make this. First of all, I want to take the time to apologize to y'all, man, for what the white man has done to you people. It's so egregious and atrocious, and I have no words to make up or give you a proper apology for what's been done to you. I really don't. But I am truly, sincerely sorry for what has been done to you people. And it grieves me terribly. It really does. Man, you all are chosen. You God's chosen people, man. You shouldn't be able to contain your joy. With everything that's going on, the Spirit of God moving like it is, I'm telling you, I've been staying off here a lot because of AI. But I had to make this video. I really did. I was fortunate enough the Lord revealed himself to me 31 years ago, man, and I know him, and I love him. He's first in my life, man. He truly is. Just knowing y'all as chosen people is an immense blessing to me because he revealed it to me. I don't know why my phone keeps doing this. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just want to take this time again to apologize to y'all and to lift you up, man. Like I say, you should be able to contain your joy, man. You're God's chosen people. You really are. May the blessings of God follow each and every one of you, every single one of you. I just pray blessings in your life, man. And white man's reign's over. It's over. It's your all's time, man. Embrace that. Seek God with all your heart, man. Seek him because y'all are his people, man. Y'all are his people. God bless each and every one of you. And my prayer is if you don't know him, that you seek him and find him because children time is short, man. It's truly short. Peace and love to everybody. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Tune in to Celestial over there too on the Master's Voice. And do that also. God bless y'all, man.
So I was raised that Black people were God's favorite and they were the superior race. And it was interesting to be raised with that mentality because I think it's different than a lot of how other white people were raised. And I do believe that if more people were raised this way, the world would be a little bit better of a place and maybe we can get along a little bit nicer together. Obviously, there's pros and cons to everything. So I would love to discuss the pros and cons of what it was like to be raised with this mentality, as well as what you think about it and what you think we should do going forward to raise the next generation of children who are carrying the future for us. So how this mentality came about, I was really quizzical and curious as a child and very outspoken. It's interesting to look back now that we're in this ginger talk right now, I'm kind of reliving a few of the silly little traumas that we face as gingers. And I noticed that I was more outspoken between the ages of 0 and 8. And once I started getting really made fun of as a ginger, I kind of lost my voice and I wasn't as brave or outspoken, and I was shy and timid. So it's kind of interesting to have that realization now, so many years later. Anyway, back to the important topic here. The way that this mentality was brought on to me was, as I said, I was very outspoken and, you know, I was quizzical and curious as a child. So before the age of 6, I asked my mom, why do we call them Black people when they're more different shades of brown? And I asked her, why do people treat them differently or call them names? Like, what does this mean? Why is this happening? And how do you explain race and racism to a child that is under the age of 6 in a way that they can understand? Because obviously they're not going to be able to comprehend or grasp the entirety of the depth of what racism really truly is. So how do you explain that to a child? She knew that I loved my brownies and my cookies baked a little bit longer than you're supposed to, because the crispy edge of the brownie was always my favorite. And I loved when the chocolate chip cookie was a little bit crispy on the outside and a little gooey on the inside. And that was the perfect way to bake the cookies and bake the brownies. So she used that analogy. And yes, it sounds crazy, but as a 4-year-old child, it made perfect sense. And she used that analogy and she said, you know how you like your cookies and your brownies baked a little bit extra? That's kind of what God did with Black people. He took more time and more love into creating Black people. And that's why they're a little bit darker than you. He just baked them a little bit longer. That's how she described race to me. And she said that anybody who talks badly about them or is mean to them is just jealous. So right away, I was kind of just like completely infatuated and just in awe of Black people, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it like to be God's favorite? What is it like to, you know, just be loved a little bit more from God? Like, I just thought it was incredible and amazing. And so I always just gravitated towards Black people because I was like, oh my God, like they're so lucky. Do they know how lucky they are? Like, how cool is it that God spent a little bit more time on them? I was fascinated by it. And
welcome back. Over the past few years, something strange has been happening. And I've been seeing online, I've been seeing more and more white people, from former racists to researchers, from religious scholars to everyday Americans, have started to come forward and saying the same shocking thing, that Black people are different, Black people are special, Black people are the chosen ones. And we have been doing such videos for a number of times, but I just want right now to break it down easily. Why are they saying that we are the chosen ones? Why this matters? Why right now? Because they could have chosen to say it earlier, but why waiting up to now? And why is this generation saying that? Now, some say that they have had dreams, and others say it is history that led them here. And some quote the Bible, others quote science. Some say God showed them. Others say they just finally saw the truth. And I will say this is not just about the isolated statements anymore. Videos have gone viral. White pastors, ex-KK members, even historians are stepping forward and saying that we were wrong and we hid the truth, and Black people carry something divine. It is no longer sacred. And this truth, this ancient truth, is beginning to shake the very foundation of white supremacy. So you might wonder why now. That's the question we need to answer. Why are they coming out now? And I will say this. They are coming out now because this is the truth. Because the system they build is falling. The system that have been carrying out the agenda that we are inferior, we are failures, we are Black, we are this, it is failing. And they feel the walls closing in. They see Black people rising spiritually, economically, mentally, and globally. And instead of fighting it, some are starting to admit what their ancestors knew but buried it. Some are admitting. So They're admitting the black man and woman are the original people. But they buried this. African is a cradle of humanity, but they buried that. Blackness is not a curse, but it's a calling, but they buried that. White supremacy is a system built on lies, but when truth starts to rise, lies crumble fast. They are rushing to confess, some of them, before the full collapse hits. And some of them want to be on the right side of history, or at least not buried beneath it. That's how it is. That's how it is. You may ask yourself, why do they say black people are chosen? Why are they calling us the chosen ones? The reason why they say that black people are chosen is not just about feeling. There is a proof. It is spiritual, it is historical, it is genetic. When I talk about the Bible for a moment, I'll say this. For those who read the Bible, I'll say this. In the book of Genesis, Exodus through the Old Testament, we read about the people, or we read about a people who were enslaved, scattered, hated by the nations, and yet chosen by God. They were taken into slavery ships. They lost their language, they lost their land, they lost their name, and they were punished and then promised redemption. Now tell me, who does that sound like? The story that you read on Exodus, or Genesis through Exodus, everything. Who does that sound? Because it doesn't sound like Europe. It doesn't sound like Europe. It sounds exactly like black people, especially black Americans, Caribbean descendants, and Africans across the continent. That's this story. When I hear the story from the Bible, it sounds exactly like the black people. So even Asian maps shows the kingdom of Judah in West Africa. Old rabbinical texts spoke of the tribes of Israel in Ethiopia and Nigeria. And when you talk about science, black DNA is the oldest, the most diverse, the most dominant. Melanin is not just color. It is cosmic, and it absorbs light. It connects to the universe, and it powers the body. I will tell you this for free. Black people carry something divine. They tried to erase the truth, but right now we know the truth. Black people carry something divine. For centuries, they told us that we were nothing. They showed us shackles, not crowns. They told us our history started with the chains, slavery, colonization, and they banned books. And they told us our history does not start with kingdoms. But ask yourself, why are they banning books? Ask yourself, why would the system go so far to erase people's identity? Why would they rewrite map? Why would they hide scrolls and ban the books? Ask yourself that. It is so obvious to know what the reality is. Because when you erase a chosen people, you control the world. When the chosen forget who they are, they become easy to rule. But now the game is up. The game is up. Black people are waking up, and they can't stop it. They can't stop it. But I'll say this. Not every white person saying black people are chosen is coming from a place of love. Some are confessing out of fear. They see power shifting, because right now it's very evident the power is shifting. They see their system crumbling. They see black excellence rising in business, in politics, in technology, in spiritual leadership. They are not scared of black skin, but they are scared of black awakening. Write that down. Oh God. Oh my God. They are not scared of black skin. They ain't scared of black people. They are scared of black awakening. Because a black person who knows they are chosen, a black person who walks like it, who thinks like it, and builds like it, is unstoppable. So white supremacy relied on us being lost, confused, and divided. But now we are rising, we are healing, and we are remembering. And their biggest fear that we won't want revenge. That's their biggest fear. But we will rise in truth, in power and unity, and build something that they can never control. Now, Look around yourself, whether when you walk out there, just look around, you will notice something. Look at how white youths are imitating black culture. I'm so happy every day the white Gen Zs are turning this thing to scare something, because they do not want to follow the lies from their ancestors. They are following the truth of black people. Look at how spirituality is spreading from African roots to Hebrew Israelites movement to Afro-Indigenous awakening. Look at how even African nations are now saying that we want our dignity back. We want our own path. That's what's happening in Burkina Faso. What is happening in Burkina Faso is not just politics. It is spiritually. It is black awakening. Why do you think there is so much censorship? So many attacks on black movements? Why? Because we are in the season of revelation. Because the truth can't be held back anymore. Even their own are testifying now. Because denying the divine in blackness is denying reality itself. You will ask yourself, because a lot of Gen Zs, I have noticed you are watching my videos, the youths, you are watching my videos, and you may ask yourself, what makes black people chosen? Let me answer you that in a very simple terms. What makes black people chosen? First of all, it's spiritual connection, because black people are deeply spiritual by nature. Not because of religion, but because of soul. We sing differently, we pray differently, we move differently. Our spirit cannot be clowned. Another thing, what makes black people chosen is survival power. Through slavery, through colonization, through genocide, we as black people survived, and not just survived, but we flourished. We build culture out of this suffering. We build everything out of this trauma. We flourished. And that's divine resilience. What makes black people chosen is because of our creative genius. Music, fashion, sports, language, innovation. The world watches us. Even when we are oppressed, we create culture. From Nigeria to Atlanta, Jamaica, London, black voices shift the world. That's called global influence. Black people have something that we call global influence. And that's why we are the chosen one. We don't call ourselves the chosen one, but wherever we touch, we have the influence. In music, we influence the world in music. We influence the world in sports. We influence the world in language and everything. We have creative genius and we have global influence. And that brought me to something that I call prophetic purpose. We have always been called to lead. We have always been called to restore. We have always been called to guide. And that's why when other minority group got problem, they go back to black people. When white people get problem with its government, they go back to black people. They are asking questions. Why are not black people helping us to protest? Why are not black people here? Because they know whatever black people touches, it flourishes. Whatever black people say, it goes on. We are not just random. We are rooted in something internal. We are rooted in something spiritual. Right now, I have something that called global awakening. What's happening right now in America isn't just in America only, it is global. Black people in Brazil are rising, in South Africa are rising, in Kenya are rising, in Haiti, in the UK, our people are discovering their light. So African spirituality is returning. The drum is calling us back. The ancestors are stirring. And this is not a hate, okay? This is just healing of black people. We are not rising to dominate, but we are rising to restore the balance. We are rising to take charge where we belong, not to hate. And when all this is happening, white supremacy is shaking up. The collapse of white supremacy is on the way. You know, white supremacy is not just racism, okay? That's one thing you need to know. It's not just about racism. It's a system that said whiteness is equal to God, power, and intelligence. The system that said that it is collapsing itself because the truth is louder right now. And they can't control the narrative anymore. So the more they confess, the more their false foundation crumbles. They can no longer say black people are inferior. When their children listen to black music, when their children follow black trends, speak like black people, and respect black voices more than their own. So they can't say that. Okay? The truth is that it's not enough for them to say we are chosen. We must believe it and we must walk in it. Being chosen isn't just about pride, it's about responsibility. It means this: building our own community, protecting our culture, loving ourselves deeply, teaching our children the truth, uniting across oceans and tribes, protecting the culture, uplifting each other, because this world is changing and we are not victims. We are visionaries. We are not brokers, or we are not broken. We are reborn. So yes, some white people are finally saying this. Black people are the chosen ones. And whether they say it in apology, in fear, or in other ways, the truth stands. But the real question is, now that the world sees it, do you believe it? Do you? Do you walk like the chosen one? Do you think like a chosen one? Do you treat your people like the chosen one? This is our moment, okay? It's our time, and no system, no history, and no power can stop a chosen people who finally recognize their worth. Okay? Thank you so much, my beloved people, for walking through this journey with me. Share this video so far if you think this message is great. Until next episode, peace out.